In today's episode, I'm giving you guys my best mega ramp pitch for the new skate game. So follow along and let's talk some skate. Welcome back to another episode of the Hippy Jump Podcast, a podcast all about the video game franchise Skate. I'm your host William, and today I wanted to talk all about mega ramps. About a month ago, I uploaded this video that I made about the 5 locations that I would want to return in the new Skate game. And first of all, that video absolutely blew up. I don't know what happened or how it happened, but it did, and it was incredible. The support on it has been insane. But with that video, someone commented on it, and that someone being the actual Skate account. And I absolutely freaked out when I saw this notification because I didn't even know like the Skate account, whoever runs the Skate account watches my stuff. So that was insane. But they left a really cool comment that I thought would make for an interesting video. They commented, "What do you think would make the best mega ramp? Rails, boxes attached? Let's hear it." So of course, if Skate comments, then I have to respond. I don't know if they expected me to make a video about this subject, but here we go. I'm gonna respond. You guys are actually gonna hear it. I just feel like an obligation. If Skate comments, like, I have to reply. That's literally why my channel is a thing. That's why I'm here, is because of Skate. Skate could literally comment like, "What's your favorite smoothie flavor?" and I would feel obligated to answer. Like, I would give them an answer to that. So my quick answer in the comments was just more rainbow rails, because of course I love rainbow rails. If you watch that video, I express my love for rainbow rails. I think they're very fun on mega ramps. But along with my comment, there were so many other people that replied to their comment, and it just became like this whole thread of ideas that people want in the new Skate game, and it was awesome. Like, I love reading all of these suggestions and ideas. Like, Maxo Forever commented not about mega ramps, but he said, "You guys should add skate shops, almost like a community hub where you can go and hang out with your friends, buy clothes and boards, and watch community posts from other players." I 100% agree with that. That sounds amazing. In this video, I actually talked about the regs being a skate shop that you can go in and walk around and hang out in. So I am right there with him. Roman Will Do It just straight up said bigger mega ramps. The Pharaoh said make double or more flips possible. Electrical Pole said add the Super Ultra Mega Park as a DLC or a different area if you're making a new one. And it just goes on and on and on. Just so many people saying their ideas, replying to the Skate account. And I'm assuming if they watched my video, commented on my video, they're probably reading your comments as well, which is really awesome. And I want to give a huge shout out to the team. They truly do listen, and they mean it when they say they're listening, so I think that's really amazing. So once the channel commented this under my comments, I tried to think like, what would my ideal mega ramp be? Like, what would be the perfect mega ramp that I could think of? And I started getting like really crazy with the ideas in my head, like talking about like islands and like full of mega ramps, or like a whole city of mega ramps, stuff like that, like big locations that is just like, in a way, a giant mega ramp. And I started to kind of float around the idea of like a mountain, like a separate island mountain type thing. And then someone commented something, and they were literally like the exact same idea I was thinking in my head. They were saying in the comments, and I was just blown away by this. So Ghost Brain responded to the comment, and he said huge mountains on top of more mountains, and all concrete or mostly concrete, and a gondola with a half pipe in it that takes you to the top of the mountains. And then he said fun track from Skate 2, but all mountain is concrete and there's a stair set up to the top. So basically this is very close to what I was thinking of. I was thinking of like one giant mountain, like island thing, maybe even like a volcano theme kind of mountain where there's like lava incorporated. The gondola with the half pipe on it is really cool. I definitely didn't think of that, so that's a really cool idea, because when I was thinking about this mega ramp idea, I was like, I couldn't figure out a way that you would get to the top without like parkour, but like then parkouring up a mountain probably will take forever, and I don't think that's too good of an idea. So the gondola with a half pipe on it, that sounds really cool. I love that idea. But I took down some notes on this idea that I thought of for this Mega Mountain is what I'm calling it. I'm just gonna take you guys through my mega ramp concept for the new skate game. So it's gonna start off a big mountain on an island. It's probably gonna be like separate from San Amsterdam, so maybe this island would come in like a later update. It probably won't be there at launch or something like that. And I was thinking like you take a plane or something to the island, or however fast travel works. I'm not too sure. Maybe you just fast travel straight to there. You could do that. I think a plane ride would be cool. I don't know. Something like that. I think to make this idea even better, we take Danny Way's name and just slap his name on it. So it's Danny Way's Mega Mountain, and it's this huge DLC full of just mega ramp craziness. And once you unlock it, the narrator or your camera guy or whoever's behind your camera, whoever's Retta in this game, hopefully it is Retta, but they basically like, once you jump in the game, when this DLC is out, they're basically like, yo bro, like word around town is Danny Way bought a freaking island. Like this dude is insane. We should go check it out. Like apparently he built a giant mega ramp on it. I don't know, something like that. So then boom, you hop on a plane, you fast travel, whatever you have to do. Maybe you have to complete some challenges to actually unlock it. Like maybe Danny Way's introduced into the game and then he's like, he has some challenges for you, and then you do his challenges and then you unlock the island, something like that. Once you get to the top of this mountain, this is where I was trying to really think like, what would a mountain mega ramp look like other than like Super Ultra Mega Park, which is literally a mega ramp going down the side of a mountain, but you know what I mean. So at the top there would be like multiple drop-ins. So like it would be, you would get to the top of this mega ramp and there would be different ways you could go. I don't know how many different ways it would be, but it would be a couple different like areas you could go into, like drop-ins, roll-ins, stuff like that. And basically you just choose which one you want to go down. It's up to you, whichever path you like the most. And I was thinking maybe each drop-in or each like branch off would have like a different kind of theme to it. So maybe one could be like your typical big mega ramp. You're going down a ramp, getting a lot of speed, probably some gaps here and there, but you know, it's a mega ramp. Maybe even like throw a loop in there somewhere. And then I was like, let's get crazy, because it's a mega ramp, and why be realistic with a mega ramp when you can have fun with the mega ramp? So I thought one drop-in should just be dedicated to rails, like a bunch of different rails you can take. Like it's rainbow rails times 10. Like you get on it and you really ride that rail, like you're just doing a 50-50 down this rail. I'm thinking like Sonic Heroes like type of rails, like crazy Sonic grinding type stuff. And there's like big gaps and you're taking these huge rails over, and like even like banked rails, stuff like that. Like I just think it'd be really cool to get really creative with the rails. And there could even be like rails that split off and are like shortcuts to other like parts of the ramp, or like other parts of the mountain or something like that. Another drop-in I thought of was heavily relying on wall rides. So say you like drop in and there's a big gap, but there's, you know, walls on the side. So you get a ton of speed and then you go up, you go off this ramp and you're just like gliding along this wall, like this huge wall, this giant canyon below you. If it's a volcano, that would even be cooler because there's lava below you. You don't want to fall and die. There could even be like water flowing through it where you have to wall ride over the water or something like that. I think it would also be cool if it like coupled with like ledges. So there's also like ledges in areas that you can grind, or like big drop off ledges, kind of like a massive like Euro gap type thing. And if you don't know what a Euro gap is, it's like the ledge that goes like, it breaks off just like a ledge, and then there's like a ramp that kind of comes up to it but not all the way, because if it came up all the way it would just be a regular ramp. So there's like a little like indentation. It's like a little Euro gap, but think like massive Euro gap. And they've kind of done like a big Euro gap before, kind of like in Danny Way's Hawaiian Dream type stuff. You know, the giant half pipe section of Hawaiian Dream where you can go up into the bowl area? That's like a huge Euro gap, basically. I think it would also be cool if some of these ramps or some of these trails, they intersect with each other. So it's kind of like a figure eight type track from like a racing game. I'm thinking like sewer pipes from Skate 2 where they kind of intersect and you can go different ways. Maybe there's like skaters jumping over you and you're going under, or you're jumping over them, kind of stuff like that. I think things like that would keep it really unique. Like one of your friends could drop in on one side and you drop in on this side, and then you guys like see each other cross over. Whoever gets to the bottom wins or something like that. Which brings me to my next point, death races. Death races would be perfect on these mega ramps. Danny Way's Mega Mountain would have the sickest death races. Imagine a death race on the rail section. That would be absolute madness. Now there would have to be like several different rails that you'd have to be able to take, like, you know what I mean? Like they'd all have to be next to each other, so people are like grinding at the same speed, kinda, if you get what I'm saying. But death races would be really cool because there'd be like ramps that intersect with each other, and it would cause like just mayhem. People probably colliding with each other in midair, like falling, and yeah, it would just be really crazy. Especially like, I don't know how big lobbies are gonna be, but if you can get like 20 people in a death race going down this mega mountain, imagine the chaos. Like that would be incredible. I think it would be awesome if once you get down, whatever way you go down the mountain, at the very bottom of the mountain, there's a giant mega bowl, mega half pipe type thing, just a big mega park that you can still skate. Maybe have like different tiers. You can like get down to the bottom, there's a big bowl, but then you can also go down this big roll in, and then there's like a big mega kind of street park type thing. Just different things that you can skate at the bottom once you get down there. And again, if it's a volcano or if there's water, you could have really cool gaps. You could have volcano gaps. You'd be grinding over volcano gaps and stuff like that. You could just do so many different crazy things with this kind of idea, especially if you take like the realness out of it. If you take the realistic part out of skate and you just kind of let your mind run crazy, you can come up with some really insane things. For sure, at the core of me playing skate, I am a realistic player through and through. That's how I play the game. But I do think it's really fun to kind of let loose and ride the crazy mega ramps they have and just kind of play unrealistic from time to time. It doesn't always have to be so serious, especially when you're bringing Danny Way into the game. If they do bring Danny Way into the game, he's got to have his own mega something. And there has to be DC just plastered all over it. And it's got to be the best way to introduce Danny Way. So what do you guys think of this idea? I want to know down in the comments, what ideas do you guys have for a mega ramp? If you didn't already respond to the Skate Channel's comment in the previous video. Now there were some comments on that video where I was talking about returning locations that I do want to touch on. The first one comes from Swaggy. Swaggy said, hopefully they have like a proper in-depth park creator so the community can make these kind of spots. And this is actually something that I completely forgot to mention in my locations video. There is a park creator. We know that. Collabo Zone, that's a thing. We see it in videos all the time that they upload. So I do want to mention that the locations that I talked about in the video, or any previous locations from the old skate games, they're probably going to be remade in the new game, like in some way, shape, or form. Somehow they'll make it into the game, even if it's user generated content. But what I was talking about in that video was like things actually implemented into the game. Like if Community Center was actually implemented into Sand Amsterdam, I think that'd be really cool. Swaggy has a great point. There is going to be an in-depth park creator. We know that. So yeah, we can look forward to that. And then that one guy commented, what they really need to do is make the full map from Skate 1, 2, and 3 DLCs. There's so many spots in Skate 1 that didn't get the proper love they deserved because you couldn't walk. That Skate 1 point is super true. Skating some Skate 1 spots made it pretty difficult because you couldn't walk. You couldn't get off your board, so it was a bit difficult to navigate if you didn't set your session marker or something like that. But this kind of goes back to Swaggy's point, proper in-depth park creator and all this old 1, 2, and 3, the DLC stuff. I think we're gonna see a lot of it. Maybe not every single thing, or maybe we'll see everything. I don't know, we'll see. But we're gonna see a lot of older locations for sure. If it's not full circle making it, it's gonna be the community. Now what I loved about this video is I was talking about locations that I wanted to see, and people commented locations they wanted to see, but people like Criminal commented, I don't care for anything returning, spent 16 years playing those maps, I'm good off them. That's totally cool, I get that. We've been skating these same spots forever. Would I be mad if no locations return? No, not at all. I would love to skate the new stuff. I mean, I'm gonna skate that stuff the most, but I just think it'd be cool to see something return here and there. GOHTWN commented and said, Coach Frank murals, and when you get them, all you get is a skin of Coach Frank and the accessories he has. I actually love this idea. Hopefully Coach Frank is in the new game, but could you imagine like posters or like murals, like you said, like big murals or something like that of Coach Frank, like big painted murals or something? And if you find them, it kind of, I guess, triggers like a collection thing. And then if you collect a certain amount, you unlock Coach Frank, and you can be Coach Frank or like have his skin, or maybe like some stereo boards as well or something like that. I think that'd be awesome. I love that. Drinia commented and said, I want to see some references to real life spots like Brooklyn Banks, Embarcadero, Hubba Hideout, Love Park, and etc. 100%. We've seen this. We've seen locations be implemented into the map that were real life locations. I think something like Embarcadero would be really cool. I mean, that is a spot in San Francisco. So we're in San Amsterdam. San Francisco is part of that map. It'd be cool to see something like that. And the last comment that I'm gonna end on is from Xenon Orion. And they said, what about the ghetto spot? Best spot hands down. Now look, I didn't put the ghetto spot on this list. I love the ghetto spot. It's one of my favorite places to skate. I've made one edit in Skate 3 in my entire history of playing Skate 3, and it was all in the ghetto spot. That wasn't even that long ago. That was like a year ago when I made that, because I love the ghetto spot so much. But my argument against the ghetto spot is it's so simple. Like, it's just a flat ground with some items and a few banks and like a pole jam and like a fence that you can grind in some areas. There's not a ton to it, but that's why I love it. Like, I love it because it's so simple, but I think it could be so easily replicated. Anyone in the community, I feel like, could go and make the ghetto spot with the collabo zone. So I didn't put it on the list because I was like, well, I don't think they'll really take the time to implement like something like this little. It's just like kind of like just a flat ground, or maybe they will. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's my justification for not putting the ghetto spot on there. Probably should have been an honorable mention, but you know, whatever. I do love the ghetto spot though. So I agree with you, Xenon Orion. Don't hate me. But anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for all the support on the last interviews. Thank you for the support on the location video. It's at the time of recording this, it's at 21,000 views, which is like the most insane thing ever. I don't even understand it. I don't know. When I made that video, I was like, man, I think this video could hit 1,000 views. Like, that'd be so cool. I think this is good enough to hit 1,000 views. And it just absolutely like blew away any expectation that I had for it. So thank you guys. You're incredible. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please let me know down below, what would your mega ramp concept be for the new skate game? But as always, go play some skate.